Welcome to Lulworth Cove on Dorset's Jurassic coast. This is a famous geographical feature, but one that I've never managed to get a successful picture of. Maybe this afternoon is the time. So I know the sun will be setting this evening on a bearing of 251 degrees, which is just over the northern tip of Portland out there. I love to use, by the way, my compass, the old school compass. It's great. Whereas the sun will be rising on a bearing of 110 degrees, which is over there. I love this view here with the sweep of Lulworth Cove beneath me. It would work really well either as a super wide angle lens shot or a panorama. But shooting in the evening, I'm going to be looking straight into the setting sun. But in the morning, with the sun coming up over there, we may get gorgeous side lighting on the scene with these cliffs here glowing in the first light of dawn. But the question remains, what can we try shooting this evening? I'm thinking that possibly shooting from over on that headland there, looking back across this way, may work if we get just the right kind of sky. At the moment though, there's not a cloud in the sky, so it's not looking that hopeful. One thing I really like about the EOS R is just how small and compact it is, which makes it a great camera for when you're out hiking on the coast as I am today. So the more I use the EOS R, the more I like it actually. When I first started shooting with it last summer, I was very skeptical, and it does take a bit of time getting used to shooting with an electronic viewfinder. I still, quite frankly, prefer an optical eyepiece, but there are times when an electronic viewfinder is really useful. When shooting video and when shooting in really low light in particular, because what you see through the eyepiece is what you're getting. And the focusing of this camera, the low light focusing, is very good. And also I can select a focus point virtually anywhere in the image area. Back in the summer of 2017, we did a field trial for the F11 photography magazine, the search for the perfect camera bag. And this Mindshift bag I've got on today was one of the bags we tested. Well, since then, I've really grown to appreciate this bag, particularly when used with the EOS R. Now with this rotational pouch that comes round like this, I can get at the camera without having to take the rucksack off my back. And the pouch itself is just the right size for a mirrorless compact camera. So it's a beautiful winter's afternoon, the sun's setting now over Portland, but there's not a cloud in the sky. And for the picture that I envisaged, a twilight shot of Lulworth from this headland, we need that cloud in the sky reflecting light back down into the scene. It's just not going to work this evening, but we've had a great day here on the Jurassic coast, and I've got a strong idea for a morning shoot up on that hillside there, looking down on the cove with the early morning light coming from the southeast. Hopefully we'll get the right conditions in the next few days and we'll be coming back. Morning. I'm loving the church bells. So here we are back at Lulworth Cove. This is madness. Can barely see 10 meters. It's moody though, well moody. So we were heading to our viewpoint up here, but in this fog, I think it's quite moody down here, so I'm going to try a shot.
Which camera are you using, Dave?
So I'm using the EOS R this morning. I'm using my 14mm lens, and I want to get both headlands here, the width, the fog, the steely monochromatic light. I just need a bit of a bolder composition. So I'm getting a 8-second exposure unfiltered here because the light's obviously still quite dim. But it's really quite atmospheric, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, look at that. Sort of weird quality to the light, isn't there?
So we're not going to get the picture that we were hoping for, are we?
No chance. This fog is a real pea super. But this is great, isn't it? This is really moody, and I'm really quite pleased with what we've just done here and now. It's always worth coming out. Even if we hadn't shot a frame, it still would have been worthwhile. It's special doing this sort of thing.
So just point out, David, where we were aiming to shoot from.
So it's up on that headland, just here. Just up there. So that's a shot that is waiting to be done. Trouble is, every day the sun's coming up a little bit further to the north now. Here we are in late February. And soon the season for doing that picture will be over. So I'd say we've got maybe another week to try and make it happen. It's got so foggy now I can't see the headlands out there, so I think we've got the best of this now.
Looking at the tide, David,
yeah,
it doesn't look like we're going back to when we came.
we'll have to go back over the hill behind us. So this was our spot that we scouted out the other day, and as you can see, we can't see a thing. The sun's been up for about half an hour now, but there's no way we're going to see it this morning. No sign of the fog breaking. I can't see any blue sky above, so it's not worked. But early down there on the beach, that was well moody. So I'm quite pleased with this shoot. And of course, we'll just have to come back and try again. So here we are for the 4th attempt. It's looking good this morning, clear skies, lots of wind. but maybe this morning after 4 tries we'll get it. Give a wind.
Looking good this morning.
Almost been blown off the cliff top here, but I'm using the 17mm TSE tilt shift lens, and it's just almost wide enough, but what I'm going to do is rack left, center and right to make a fairly moderate panorama using it.
Which camera have you got mounted on there, Dave?
It's the EOS R. And this morning I'm using the new Lee filter holder, which has got a slot for the polarizer and locks on the ring so it won't drop off. So rushing to get set up here because I'm thinking this wind may pick up the first pink of twilight. In fact, I'm just getting a hint over there now. I'm using a 0.6 ND grad hard filter Lee because I've got a very definite line to lay the grad along. I thought spring was coming, but winter's come back with a vengeance this morning. It's cold here, but there's some lovely pink in the sky over there. You see, Gov? I'm hoping it's going to spread through the sky this way. Just a bit of light coming through on this headland, isn't there? This is good now. The sun's up over the headland here, started shining down on this side of the cove. My one concern is the wind buffeting of the camera. Okay, Gav, I think we got it. I think so. Oh, that wind was brutal, but we got some good light, and finally it came together.